Hey guys, it's Michelle at TangerineBliss. Today I wanted to make a video about CBD oil. We have to take care of ourselves so we can take care of these little people. Yeah. Here's the CBD oil that I've been taking. It's by Lazarus Naturals and it's high potency. It says to take a whole milliliter, which contains 50 milligrams of CBD oil. However, I only take about 3 drops, and the most I've ever taken is about 7 drops. I'm not a physician, and I'm not a scientist. This is just my personal experience and what I have personally found online about CBD oil. I found that for anxiety, pain, and general health, 2.5 milligrams up to 20 milligrams is often recommended. So if I take 3 drops of that oil, that's just 4.8 milligrams. It's a very small amount. And yet it was actually really effective. I was so pleased to find out that it was actually just enough for me to not be constantly anxious, irritated, oh my gosh, I don't feel good inside my kitchen because there are dishes everywhere, to, oh okay, that was left out. Of course you have a little bit of mess. They were just tolerable again. Taking CBD oil was like little drops of grace. So I started taking CBD oil while I was pregnant. I actually went to a healthcare provider with midwives, and there were actually multiple midwives at this practice, and I took the opportunity to meet various ones of them during my pregnancy, during my last pregnancy, and I asked each of them when I would see them, I would say, what do you think about CBD oil? I would also ask what kind of medication is recommended for postpartum anxiety. Is that different than for postpartum depression? And all of these things are so important to think about while you're pregnant, and you might not have an experience of PMADs during your pregnancy, but you might. And you might not have that experience postpartum, but you might. And so thinking through these things before you get to that point where you're like, I can't take this anymore, and you don't know what to do, thinking through it beforehand is so important. I highly recommend that. During my pregnancy, I was feeling just the anxiety kind of like building up. For me, it's not been typically like a depression thing, but it's like stress. It's like not normal, and you know yourself, and you know if this is not typical. I'm a really optimistic person, but when I start feeling like I might have a panic attack because I'm worried about XYZ, I know that's not normal. That is hormones, and that is the effect of pregnancy, that is the effect of postpartum, sleep deprivation, and it needs to be addressed for my own well-being. Self-care is so important. And if you're looking at this video and you're thinking, okay, I'm not feeling great, maybe you're in the middle of your pregnancy and you're like, I just want to kill my husband, or I'm just getting angry all the time, this is not like me, or I can't take my other kid to the park because I am so stressed out. Those are kinds of things that you may be on the fence as far as, do I need medication, or is there something natural that I can take? This little thing, even just a little bit, I can notice a difference. There was another website that said therapeutic reactions are in full swing within 20 to 30 minutes, and the effects tend to last anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. That was extremely true for me. If I take 3 drops of CBD oil, and this is 0% THC, it's not from a marijuana plant, it's from hemp plant, and it's very well reviewed. I found it on a website that reviews lots of them. This one is actually one of the least expensive that was on this like top 10 website. I'll go ahead and link to it below. If I take it, just that 3 drops, I can tell the difference in like 20 to 30 minutes. So what it means though, if it's between 4 to 6 hours, and that's true for me too, like I can tell that it's wearing off after about 4 hours. I start kind of feeling the way that I was again. And that just means that while you're awake, you're probably going to take it about every 4 to 6 hours. Being pregnant, I was waking up during the night and I was feeling not good, intrusive thoughts sometimes, especially like in early postpartum. That sleep deprivation is huge on me. It has a big effect on you, and different people respond to sleep deprivation in different ways, but that is a very big concern. So if I woke up in the middle of the night, then I'll just take 3 drops again then. And you're probably curious how you take it, so I'll just do that right now. You just shake the bottle gently a little bit, and then if you're only taking like a few drops, you don't need to have much in the thing, but you just get really close and put it under your tongue. Three drops under your tongue. And then you don't want to drink your water or eat your food like right after. I usually just let it sort of sit there in my mouth for about 2 minutes before I drink more water. Staying hydrated is also key, but taking care of yourself is so important. So, my experience, and like I said, this is just anecdotal. You need to talk to your own care provider to make a decision, but my choice was, hey, this is legal where I live. If you have concerns about that, there are videos and websites that talk about your state and what you're allowed to buy and use. This took the edge off for me, to the point where I did not feel anymore like, hey, I might need to take a drug that's prescribed to me. And that's a much more involved process as far as breastfeeding and taking CBD oil. I equate it to caffeine consumption and breastfeeding. If you're consuming a cup of coffee each day, you don't need to be concerned about that making your baby wired. There are some people who firmly believe that their babies are super sensitive to caffeine as well as other things, and that's person to person. You're going to get different experiences. Obviously, you're going to want to do your due diligence and make sure that you get an oil that is pure and that is, refined correctly. It's like well reviewed, everything. And I think that if you're going to try something, this is worth looking at. Very importantly, I'm healthy mentally, and I'm taking the time for self-care and doing what I need to do to make sure I'm well rested. My anxiety levels are kept at bay, and I'm taking care of myself, feeding myself nutritious foods, because otherwise I can't take care of my kids the way I need to. And that goes the same for you too. I just encourage you to take care of yourself, mama. And whether you're a pregnant mama or whether you are, trying to conceive, or whether you have a new little baby, you have to take care of yourself. We have to take care of ourselves in order to take good care of our kids. So I hope this video helps. This is just one person's experience. I highly recommend it based on my experience. And I hope that you talk to your doctor or midwife about it. And I hope that you have a really good experience with your PMEDs or your anxiety, whatever you're looking at this video for. So I hope that helps. I would love for you to subscribe to see more videos like it. Maybe some videos about my miscarriages, about my birth experiences. I'd love for you to join me in watching those videos. So I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you later.